How we doing? Okay, I want to show you guys something. I'm gonna start off with this. Republican. This is we're talking about the Black Caucus. This is Republican Karen Bass, Joyce Betty, Brenda Lawrence, Donald McClellan. I know I'm probably butchering his name. Steve Horsford and Dwight Evans and Frederica Wilson. Now, this is just some of who's supposed to be representing us. Okay. Um, I did a little research on my Black Caucus, and I actually have written a letter to them, and I'm gonna turn you back around. And I've written a letter to them, and the letter was really talking about I wanted to understand why nothing was being done as far as prison reform, police brutality, and of course now black women being abused and assaulted. And my concern to them, I asked questions as far as why there wasn't anybody, what, nothing was done. Nothing is being done. Haven't seen anybody come on and say, hey, I haven't seen any news conferences on black media or regular media. Haven't heard anybody come on and say, okay, we're going to stop this. We're in the process of doing this, or this. Haven't heard nothing. So I began to do a little research. And I need you guys to understand, black folk, that we are in a war like never before. If you don't know it by now, I don't know what it's going to take. We are in a war, and we have got to get it together. I don't know what's it going to take. I think, you know how when you get married, and it takes time for you to get that marriage mindset because you've been single for so long, and then now you're married, so you got to get that marriage. You got to get, got to call in and phone home. Now you got to say, call your husband and say, hey honey, going to the store, I'm doing this. So you have to be more accountable, right? I think this is what's going on with black folk right now. We don't understand that they've never liked you. We just have always believed that they've liked us. We always have believed that we were friends because we grew up with them. Some I went to a mixed school. We didn't hang out too much, but I didn't have to worry about them doing what they're doing now. They didn't have to worry about me doing anything. It was where we had an understanding of each other. They was in the back of the school, we was in the front of the school, and it was we segregated ourselves because we didn't know any better. That's what it was. So, and then coming up, my daughter's, I was in Caroline County, and it was segregated also. That school was still the same. You had a black cafeteria, you had a white cafeteria. So I think it's hard for us to get it in our minds that we are at war. Okay, we have to start strapping up. We have to start practicing our Second Amendment right. Get your taser, get your mace. You have to have something with you, ladies. And I'm not talking about putting it in your purse, because I remember when I went to shop for, went shopping, went looking for me, a little friend, and the man at the counter, I said, hey, I want, we was looking at different weapons and stuff, and I said, hey, he said, where you gonna put it? And I said, I'll put it in my purse. He looked at me, he goes, no, you're not going to have time to get it out of your purse. He said, look in your purse now. And I looked at my purse, and you know how our purses are big purses. We have stuff everywhere. We can't find, stuff when we start to look for stuff, we can't find it, right? So he said, the sailor, for one, is not going to give you time to look through your purse because he's going to feel like you're looking for a weapon anyway. So he's going to snatch your purse. And when he snatches your purse, he's got your gun. And then guess what? Okay. So we all know what that's about. So I thought about that. And I thought, So he said, you need a holster. You want to put it on your person. You don't want to put it in your purse. You want to keep that gun close to you and put it in a holster so that way you'll be able to get to it. Okay. That got me to thinking, man, I was on the wrong track here. I was thinking, okay, I'm putting it in my purse. I didn't think about carrying it on me, so I'm thinking, okay, I'll have it in my purse. I'll be okay. I'll be able to get to it quick. But, you can look in your purse and look for your wallet all day long and can't find your wallet, right? Same thing with your weapon. Okay. So we have to keep in mind that they're not gonna. These assailants aren't gonna let you get in your purse. Okay. So I want to talk about the Black Caucus. I just wanted to to remind us about that war game. We are in trouble. And I don't see anybody stepping up for us. I got on the Black Caucus page, and I've been writing letters to them. And I'll show you one of the letters that I've written to them. See this one here. Oh, did I do that one? No, I took it off. I went out of it. So, okay, I didn't. I went out of it. But I've been writing letters to them, and I wanted to see who would respond. And the letter was talking about the dangers of what we're facing, but police brutality. And now they've taken it to another level and assaulting black women. What are they going to do about it? Have not heard anything back yet, but I did show you the ones that I have written. And when I went on their page, I saw a lot of talk about immigrants. So I said, well, okay. So I went on the immigrants page. I went on the Asian Caucus group, Asian Pacific American Caucus. I didn't see anything about a black agenda. I didn't even hear mention of black folk. I went on the immigrants, okay, page, talked about the immigrants, immigration. Still, no black agenda. So the Black Caucus, to me, what are they? They're supposed to be somebody that has black folks' agendas. They're supposed to have our backs, right? Supposed to. But everybody, these 8 people that I've looked up, some had civil rights movements and some did not. Most of them had immigration policies. And one lady had about 6 pages of immigration policies. Hank. And I'm going to show you who Hank was. I think I showed you before. This is Hank. Okay? On his page, he talked a lot about equality and Equality Act of 2019, which is for what? For who? What's an Equality Act? He was talking more about the LGBT community. Okay? Now, you had some of them talking about them too. And I thought, well, okay, I see the LGBT community, but I didn't understand what that meant. Okay? So I said, well, let me do a little more research. Let me dig a little deeper. He didn't have anything on his page as far as black folks. Nothing. Nothing on his page about immigration. He had talking about the rise in debt. He talked about everything else, but nothing about no black agenda. I don't see anything about a black agenda. Think tank. Okay, nothing. I don't even see where he had anything about it. It just really upset me because these are people that's supposed to have your back. Okay, he talked about the armed forces, veteran affairs, consumer protection, economy, education, energy, environment, healthcare, justice, civil liberties, government accountability, national security, raising the debt, seniors, and transportation. Okay, nothing about us. Well, I do see justice, civil liberties. He had a criminal justice system is written with injustice, personalized minorities and poor American. Okay, mandatory minimum sentence. I mean, he talked, but it's nothing. I didn't see anything where he had a black agenda. Okay, he did have something on here, like I said, fighting for the opiates. Okay, still no black agenda. Okay, he talked about the DECA. Okay, which is the Dream Act. That has nothing to do with us. Where's the black agenda? Still nothing. Okay. So I said, well, let's see what else we can do. Let's see who else has something. Evans. Let's look up Dwight Evans. Okay. Let's go to him. I'm gonna let you see who he is. This young man here, if I can get him, Dwight Evans. Okay. Immigration, civil rights. I don't know what happened, but let's start again. Okay. But I was showing you Dwight Evans. Okay. Dwight Evans. Okay, young man, where my finger is pointing here. See? Okay. He talked about immigration, civil rights, um, which included everybody. He talked about the LGBT, elemental P, and he had immigrants. No black conversation, no black agenda, no black nothing. Okay. Now these are the Black Caucus. Okay, they're in the Black Caucus. That's supposed to be representing you. He talked about building a strong tomorrow for everybody. Okay, again, this is why we cannot get any help. This is why we cannot get the help that we need. We have black folks representing us that won't even talk back, don't want even talk black. They won't even talk about black folk. They talk about everything else but LGBT, immigration, but no black. And then talk about community for all. Where's the black? Where is the black conversation gonna come from? Excuse me, you guys. Um, Dr. Clyde Anderson. I was watching him, and I seen something on here about him today, and he was talking about a black agenda, and he was talking about that there was a gag order. I'm gonna try to find where that was. I'm gonna put the thing here for a minute. And I'm gonna put it right there. Well, anyway, I'll hold it. And I wanted to talk about this gag order that they had. Okay. And he said this was back in like, God, 18 something. But hold on, I'm gonna find it really super quick. I had it. Oh lordy. Oh goodness gracious. You know what? Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. This is so crazy because I just had it in my hand because I was going to talk about it. And he talked about the gag order, and it's where you cannot mention or talk about anything black. You can't even mention black folk. You can't even talk about black issues. You can't. It's a gag rule, okay? Where you can't mention black people. You can't talk about black folk. You can't say anything about black people. You can't have anything to do with them. It's almost like we don't exist, okay? And when he talked about that, oh, I'm gonna have to decline my baby. I'll talk to her in a minute. Um, it's I'm trying to find it. Oh my goodness, it's called the gag rule, and it's a gag rule of 1836. And no one shall talk openly about doing anything for black folk. Pretty much ignore black people. Okay. Does that not sound like what's going on right now? Does that not sound like what they're doing right now? They're not even mentioning you. Okay. You go on their page, pull them up, Black Caucus. Pull them up. They're not even talking about us. They won't even mention us. They have nothing to say about us. They act like we don't exist. And when they do, they'll say, oh, everybody. No, everybody has somebody representing them. We don't have anybody representing us. Okay? The Indians, as you've seen, the Spanish, the Asians, and a lot of them was talking about the Indian reform. What do you mean Indians? Let me talk about Joyce Betty. Let me show you her. Oh yeah, Joyce. Joyce. Joyce Betty. There she is. Joyce Betty. Okay. There she is. Okay. Now, when I went on Joyce's page, civil rights, nothing about black folk. She talked about all Americans, nothing about black folk. To create America not defined by color. They all say that though. They all say, not defined by color, but it is color. So what are we going to do about it? So I looked up, I'm, it's just, I am just so through with this. I am just, everybody has an agenda, but no black agenda. They don't even have a plan for black folk. The only one that I saw that was really talking about black folk was Miss Frida Wilson. Miss Frida Wilson. There she is. She had the most on there. And she talked the most about her black agenda. Okay. She had like three, 4 pages full. Okay. She had a black agenda, talked about the black men, boys, and talked about at-risk students and staying folk. This, okay, I'm just showing you her little page and what she was talking about. And she had the most, okay, that she was talking about. But still, I'm still waiting to hear the total plan about reform, prison reform, and police brutality, and now black women being assaulted. Have not heard anything about that. I have not heard not a one talk about those real issues that's going on right now today. Then we have Miss Brenda Lawrence. There she is. Okay. Still no black agenda. Talked about immigrants. She talked about incarceration. But guess what? For the Indians. Talked about incarceration for Indians. I just want to see if I can pull her up here. I just want to see if I can get her without my thing going off, my computer acting crazy. Okay, I want to see hit issues. I'm going to hit issues. Okay. And you see her issues? Oh, dang. Let me go back into issues. Oh, dang, 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 dang. Okay, these are her issues. Women issues, immigration, transportation, jobs, veterans, energy, and seniors. Okay, let's go down to the immigration issues. Okay? I just want to show you something. Who you see on her page? Who you see? Who you see on her page? Okay? More immigration foreign policies. Okay? I'm just showing you, talking about the DECA Dream Act again. Okay? Facing deportation, talking about deportation, and talking about incarceration. Indian students face food hygiene issues. Okay. Come on now. What in the world are we doing here? What are we doing? Still, no black agenda. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to understand. But they have no black agenda. Yes, hey Maurice, how you doing? Thanks for joining. And yes, they all need to be voted out. But we every year we keep putting them back in every year. These people are not doing anything for you. This is your black caucus. They won't represent you. They're representing everybody else but you. Tell me why. I got Brenda Lawrence. Let's see who she is. I think we just talked about her. No, we ain't gonna talk about her. Let's talk about Donald. Okay, Donald. Let's talk about Mr. Donald. Okay. That's Mr. Donald right there. Okay, Donald McEachen. I'm probably demolishing his name. And he has no black agenda. Okay. No immigrant. He doesn't even talk about immigrants. He doesn't talk about anything that's worth being in office for. But we keep putting these people in office and we keep voting them in year after year after year, and they do nothing for us. Yes, Etchins, thank you. I'm very bad at names. We keep putting these crazy people, these sorry darn people in office year after year after year. And I just picked 8. I didn't really go into a whole, all of them. But the ones that I did chose, most of them had an immigrant policy, immigration. Okay? But no black policy. So we have to start going to these polls, voting these congressmen out if they do not have a black agenda. If we expect it for a president, we expect it for Congress and the Senate. So when it's time to vote for the Senate and the Congress, if they do not have a black agenda, then guess what? We need to vote them out too. This is sad. These people aren't doing anything for us, and we keep voting Democrat. And this is what I'm saying about this Democrat Party. I say we need our own party. We need our own party. We have been voting Democrats since forever. We weren't even Martin Luther King people. Most people look at him and don't even know he wasn't even a Democrat. He was Republican. He wasn't a Democrat. But Roland Martin, the other Boulets, the Roland Martins of the world will tell you to vote Democrat. Now, what is his agenda? The Democrats have never. Democrats have done more harm than good to the black community, especially when Clinton was in office. Okay, him and Biden wrote that 3 strikes law. Don't forget now, Biden. He's running again, maybe. But you need to shut him down also. We need our own party. We need somebody that's going to represent us. We need somebody that's going to have a black agenda and not afraid to say it. We need somebody that is going to have our backs. And all of these people, all of them, none of them have your back. None of them have your back, which is sad. And these are just a few. This is just 8. I just picked 8. I didn't want to, make the video too long, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about them. Now let's talk about Steve. There he is right there. Stephen Horsford. Okay. What's he doing? Still, no black agenda. All these things just going off. I'm sorry, you guys. Still no black agenda. We keep putting these representatives in office, and I'm telling you guys, if they're not in there to do anything for you, we need to vote them out. I think I talked about Dwayne Evans. Yeah, he had a civil rights movement. Guess what? It was in 1964. Nothing up to date. Nothing new. The same old thing with him and John Lewis. Talking about John Lewis, who talks about something in 1964. What are you doing in 2019? Okay, what have you done since 1964? They always dwell on that 1964 stuff, the marching over Selma Bridge. Okay, let's march. Let's do some. I'm not even talking about marching. I'm sick of the marching. I'm sick of it. But I want us to do more. I want to see more. I want us to do more. Okay, we've had enough marching. We've had enough. He talks about the LGBT community. This Dwayne Evans talks about LGBT. Talks about the Jews and immigrants. He lumping us all together. No, we're not all together. We're not all together. Nobody has a black agenda. Nobody has our heart, our issues in their heart. No, everybody, they talk all around, or they want to lump us all together. No, we're different. We're not like everybody else. Everybody else that they're trying to protect has their own. Everybody else, they can, now LGBT, they can, nope, if you don't let somebody know that you're gay, nobody will be able to discriminate against you. But with us, we're black. We can walk in the room. We can't take our skin off. Everybody gonna know we black. Everybody's gonna know, okay? So it's not like we can do anything about us being black. But my thing is, we have got to stop supporting these people that don't do nothing for you. They don't even, I called Karen Brass yesterday. I couldn't even get a hold of her, okay? Now, I wrote a letter to all. I had a letter and I copied them all. I'm tired of it. I just want to see what they're going to do. Probably nothing. But I'm sick of supporting people that don't support you. Just like we're talking about this Democratic Party. Why have we been so sold out for a Democratic Party that they were the most racist? They have been the most racist ever. Okay? We know white Republicans ain't going to do nothing for you. Now we got the Democrats, who's part of the same bird that's not doing anything for you. But we keep black folks, keep voting Democrats, and especially this Hillary family. Okay, the Clinton family. Okay, Hillary has not done anything for black people. Never have, and never will. So why don't we get that? I don't understand that. Why don't we get that? We keep voting faithfully for these Clintons. And honey, if you did your research as far as Hillary is concerned, and what they did in Haiti, and how they raised all that money and didn't give any of it to Haiti. And Haitians will tell you about the Clintons. They came over there and tried to steal them babies. Remember that one group, that Christian group that went over there, and they were caught stealing, like, I want to say maybe about 30 babies. Okay, and these babies had parents, and they told the parents, some of them, that they were going off to send them to school, and some of them had parents, but they stole them from the parents. Now this was a religious group, and they said that, the government got on them and they didn't have the right papers, and they was trying to take them to the border. But who knows how many other children they've gotten before. Okay. But we have to understand that the Clintons have never been for us. I don't understand why we were so sold out for Hillary Clinton, who was for Margaret Sanger. Anybody know who Margaret Sanger is? She was the president of Planned Parenthood. Now, this woman was Hillary Clinton's mentor. Well, not mentor. She looked up to her, she said. But I looked up Margaret Sanger and I said, well, who is this woman? Margaret Sanger was for genocide of black folk. Come on, you guys. Genocide of black people. But this woman is looking up to a person that's genociding people that's supporting her. Really? Oh, God, you guys. I get so frustrated every time. See, this is why I have to take a break sometime because I've not been on here for a minute, and I have to take a break because I get so frustrated. I get so agitated because I see so much. And now you're talking about the reparations, and even my boy Maurice was on the other night, and he was talking about reparations. And if you guys, he got another tape out today. I want you guys to watch it, and he talked more about the reparations. And when he talked about the reparations, he went into more details as far as how they're gonna try to get out of it. Okay, we have to be very careful. And this one lady that I think Yvette had a black guy that Yvette was talking about, and he really didn't have the right heart for black folks, as far as reparations was concerned, and some of the stuff he was talking about. We need to prove that we're, we need to prove that we're from Africa. We have descendants from Africa or descendants from slave. How are we gonna prove that? Yes, Antonio Moore, is that his name? Tell me, how are we going to prove that we had descendants from slave? A lot of records were lost. A lot of us don't. My mom was telling me the other day that yes, I had one. Okay, but do I have proof? Do I have her birth certificate? And this is the same thing with the Indians. They had a treaty, and the Indians just got paid like $3.3 trillion. And what they did, now they were supposed to give us some of that money. Okay, this is from a treaty that they had back in 1866. And what the government said was because they had so many Indians, they had so many black folks, slaves that they didn't want to release. They went to them and they said, "Hey, we want you to release these slaves, but we're going to pay you, and we're going to, write this treaty out. We're going to pay you so much money if you release these slaves. But you got to give the same money that we give you. You're going to have to get shared with the slaves, right?" The people, okay, they didn't do that. They came up with a thing, honey, and put a clause in there where if you can't prove that you got no part of Indian in your blood, that you're not getting, you can't have a dime. So a lot of us can't prove that we can say we Indians, but I don't have, my grandfather was. I don't have his birth certificate. His mom was. His mom was enslaved. My mom's mom, like 3 generations, was in slavery. Okay, I don't have her birth certificate, so I can't prove that she was enslaved. I can't prove any of that. Okay, but we have to understand that we got to get. Man, you guys, this thing is so deep. It's so deep, so deep. And I keep talking. I'm trying to bring our attention, trying to bring it around to all of this is coming down to we have no voice. We have nobody that's speaking up for us. And the ones that they put on TV is not having our best interests at heart. Okay. Dr. Clark Anderson, I love him. He talks about reparations. Okay. I listen to him all the time. He's got a good idea. Okay. But we also have to be very careful who we put over us because a lot of people, they see all that money. And like the Indians, the Jews, they had a foundation where they put the money into a foundation, the reparation money into a foundation, and they was able to screw it out, for whatever it was you wanted. But Congress, that's not what they doing for us. They trying to for us to come to them to say, okay, what we want to do with the money. You tell them, Congress, we trying to do a business. You think they're gonna give us some money for a business? You think they're gonna give us a loan or no interest loan or even a grant for a business? Because somebody was talking about, well, we can get grants, no education. I'm like, no, you give us money just like you gave the Jews, just like you gave Indians, and just like you gave China, Japanese, okay, the Asians. You give us money. We do not. No, we're not. No, you're not going to give us a grant. You're talking about a free holiday, a free day. What? We get that already. Black Friday, okay? No tax day. We get that on Black Friday, okay? So no, we want the same opportunity that you given the Indians and the Jews and the Asians. Okay, the Indians they were able to make their own constitution up, which is what we need to classify ourselves as a protective class, and that's what Dr. Claude Anderson talks about us being a protective class because it's time. Because like I told you, all of this stuff that I'm seeing with these assaults on black women now, we have got to do better. Yes, they do. They give the Jews money regularly, and the Indians get 170 million a year. And the Jews just got some more money from somebody else. Okay, so I think we need to get paid from Africa for selling us over here. I think we need to get paid from the Britons for bringing us here, and I think we need to get paid from America for the way they treating us even now. Okay, because we should even now we're supposed to be having lawsuits up the yin yang. The way they treating us, go ahead and look at your 13th and your 14th Amendment. And it said, talks about, I'm going to paraphrase it, we're supposed to be treated the same way that you treat white folk. Is that what's happening? That's a lawsuit right there. Where are my civil rights attorney? Hey, Jasmine. How you had a Zionist and they'll have no Shemitic blood? They Zionists nothing. They ain't got no, you know what? I understand what you're saying, but still. They should be giving us money before they give anybody. But you know what? We have to go back to that biblical scripture that says that Yah says that no man shall buy you. Okay. No man is going to get us out of this. I don't even know. I don't even believe. I think, I kind of believe that this reparation is their last chance to get it right. And if they don't get it right, judgment is coming. I'm telling you, if they do not get it right, judgment is coming. Peace and blessings to you too, sis. To everybody on here. But I'm telling you, if they don't get it right this time with these reparations, y'all is giving them one more. This is their last chance to get it right. And if they don't get it right, they're done. Judgment. You're gonna see judgments all across the nation. I'm telling you, they got frogs now, these poisonous frogs or toads or whatever. They're all the same in Florida, right? And they're poisonous. And I mean, they say they're everywhere. But you have to understand, judgment is coming. I keep telling people, and if they wherever they don't, judgment's coming to Texas too, because that's the most racist state. I wouldn't dare move to Texas. That state, everything happens in Florida and Texas. When a woman got beat up, it was in Texas, right? Florida, you got your stand your ground, you got Zimmerman, all that stuff. They got something coming to them too, because every time they don't give us justice, it's the police officer kill somebody, they don't give us justice. Something end up happening, right? Something end up happening, like a flood or a shooting, a school shooting, or something end up taking place, right? We got to really keep that in mind, you guys, because every time they don't do right by us, guess what? They get it. Judgment comes every time. Trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about, but yeah, we're getting back on this black caucus. Yes. No, they won't. You know what? The devils don't think they need to repent. Just like Trump, if anybody had seen an interview with him, and a man asked him if he ever repented, and he said no. He said I do good work. I'm good. I do. I don't. In other words, he didn't have to. What am I repenting for? You have to understand, God, our God is not their God. Them the devil's children. I keep telling people that these are the devil's kids. This is why God say Esau I hated and Jacob I loved, because of their heart. Their heart is so evil, it's wicked, and people don't understand that. And we keep thinking that they like us. We keep thinking that, oh wow, these are my friends. They're not your friends, you guys. They're not. Every chance they get, they act a fool. Then they want to come and apologize, and they're not sorry. And then what we do? I forgive you. No, no, we're not forgiving them. We're done forgiving you. Because they keep doing the same thing. Yes, they're not human. They're hybrids. No, they're not human. And people have to understand that. We are dealing with demons. We are dealing with devils. The enemy, the devil made them. I keep telling you. That's why they can do what they do to us and don't think nothing about it. And how all these white folk talking about reparations. Oh, I never had slaves. One lady said, excuse me. One lady said, I ain't owe no slaves. And my response to her was, you don't own, you didn't. Your granddaddy did. So all of that wealth that you are living on today, that you got, that was passed down from generation to generation, give it back then. Give it back. You right, you didn't own no slaves. But your granddaddy or your great granddaddy, somebody down in your generation owned some slaves. So that wealth that you're living off now was off the backs of somebody's granddaddy or great, somebody black. Okay? So just give that back. If you don't want to pay reparations, but you paying it, you pay to everybody else. So why can't you pay it to us? Exactly. He did. But guess what? We have done just that. And I often tell people about him, Martin Luther King. I know he, thought he was doing the right thing. And I always say this. He said that his very last speech, he said that he thought that he took his people into a burning building. I believe that he knew at first that he was being used, but he was part of the boule. I talked a little bit about the boule. I have a video on the boule, so you can pull that up and tell you more about the boule and who's in the boule, and a lot of pastors in the boule, and what the boule is connected to the skull and bones. People don't understand that. So if you're connected to the boule, you're connected to the devil, and you've sold your soul out. And yes, people don't understand this, and they're thinking the pastors got their backs. But why do you think pastors don't talk about black community? Why do you think the pastors don't bring up anything about family? Why do you think the black pastors don't talk about anything but tithing and offering and, and their anniversary day? Do they come up with anything new? I've been in church. I grew up in church. And for the time since I was 12, okay? And we're not going to discuss how old I am now, but still, okay? That's not important. But do they talk about anything about the black community? When drugs was hit our community, did they do anything? Did they talk about it? No. Abortion now is in our community. Are they talking about it? No. So we have to understand. They are part of the Boule, and the Boule was a group that was made to. It was formed for to stop Marcus Garvey from what his plan was, and because Marcus Garvey was doing it, he was making that thing happen. Okay, and you have to understand that Marcus Garvey was doing it. He was the boats. He had the boats. He was getting ready to make that move. Okay, and they came up with this black Boule and it's wealthy black men to stop them from supporting Marcus Garvey. So what they do, they support the white agenda, the elites, and they come up with they come against black each other. Okay, so the white supremacists don't have to do it, so they send the black boules. So anybody now that's talking about reparations and talking about, ooh, black folk don't need the reparations, they have probably been bought, and they are probably being used by the elites, and they are probably part of the boule. So you have to understand that. Yes. And yes, Du Bois was, yes, he was in the boule, and he was the one that got the Marcus Garvey thing destroyed. So yes, he was one of them also. And yes, he played a major part in the Marcus Garvey, disaster. He was really doing it, but he just kind of didn't trust the right person. He didn't have enough people in his corner that he could trust, and they kind of destroyed that. Yeah, he destroyed. Yeah, they did. But you have to understand, if I look like a pastor and you think I got your back, but I'm part of the boule, you're gonna trust me, right? So I need somebody that you can trust that look like you. So this is what they do. Yes, Mark, he was. Yes, he was a tool for them. But you have to understand, you have a lot of black folk that's in the boule. Okay, a lot of sororities. Okay, they're in the boule. Steve Harvey. I'm telling you, if you look this thing up, Obama was part of it. Okay, so that's why nothing happened. Nobody, he didn't do anything for black people, and a lot of black folk get so mad because you talk about Obama. I don't care. He did nothing for black people. Millions lost their homes. And what did he do? Nothing. He could have did something, but he didn't. He what did he do? He gave it to the rich multi-billion-dollar business owners. He gave money to them to bail them out, but he didn't bail out any of the black homeowners. None. Okay. So we have to understand, and he's not an ADOS. We have to understand that. We put people in presidency that had no, they weren't even black. They weren't even part of the ADOS. So we have to be careful who we allow into our circle. No president. And because we thought Obama was black, we were so excited. Because, first I was like, I was telling my friends, I said, I don't know you guys. I said, black folk ain't really done nothing for black folk. Okay, I've never seen a black person do anything for black people. And this is sad because we were so excited because he was black. But he did absolutely nothing. We lost more wealth with him in office. Black folk lost homes, which was their wealth. Might not have been much, but it was still theirs. And yes, he is a Freemason, and he is part of the Skull and Bones. Because if you part of the Boule, just like Roland Martin, he's part of Skull and Bones. He's part of the Boule. And that's what the Boule is attached to. Look it up. It's attached to the Skull and Bones. If you are attached to the Boule, you're attached to the Skull and Bones, just like Steve Harvey. And he'll do the little hand signals and everything. They're part of the Boule. They're part of the Skull and Bones because that's a part of the Skull and Bones. People don't understand that. So when they start, you see people that start to talk against and keep doing that. I don't know what's going on here. It's acting crazy today. I guess, boy. Okay, I guess they don't like my topic today, huh? They ain't like the one the other day. Now, if I talk about hip hop and I talk about us cussing, if I'm up here cussing and act on the fool, my phone will be fine. But yep, I'm talking about something important, and now it's acting crazy. Thank you, Maurice, but I think you told me it's too late. We cut off already. But thank you though. But yeah. So we have to understand what's really going on here. And I think we as black people have got to get our mindset right. We've got to get our mindset that we are in a war. And I cannot stress this enough. Go and get your Second Amendment. Let's practice our Second Amendment. Go and get your weapons, you guys. If you don't have, ladies, get your taser. We cannot fight these men. You can tase the crap out of them. You can kick them in the genitals. You can pull them from the socket. I'm telling you, because I wouldn't have stood up there and that dude wouldn't have hit me like that. I'm going to tell you, if I had to get on my knees and grab them boobies, I'd have grabbed something on his body, okay? I'm telling you. But my thing is, we have to get it in our mindset, and that is what the problem is. We are not getting it, We're not understanding. We're not getting. We're not. It's almost like we're stuck in the past, and we're looking and we're like, why is this happening in 2019? And I'm like, it's been happening. It just never was on tape. Okay, so now it's on tape, and now you see it more so. You would think that we would get it more so, but we still don't get it. We still thinking, oh, they're our friends, and we're best friends, and we'll go against each other. And just like I'm saying, now this dude that beat up on this girl, I look at my brothers and I be like, okay, Zimmerman, he killed Trayvon. He's still alive. Okay. But then you have black folk in Chicago and in the black community shooting up each other. For what? Drugs, stepping on new shoes, or whatever. You go to a party, he wants your woman, he take your woman, or he rub up against you or something. We'll shoot each other and kill each other. But Zimmerman, he killed one of us, you guys, and he's still living. This dude, Austin, whatever his name is, I don't even, that Neanderthal that beat up that black girl, okay? Beat her up, and he's still walking around. Why wasn't he handled? Where's her brothers? Where's her uncles? They have gotten us so fearful right now, you guys. But I'm going to tell you what, change never came without revolution. Change never happened without us fighting for it. They're not going to just quit doing what they're doing. They're not going to just quit. When police officers come in your neighborhood, y'all should be protecting your own neighborhood, policing your own neighborhood. When they come out there, if they not acting right, y'all got bats. You may have one officer. When that one officer pulled that girl down in Florida in the headlock, why didn't some neighbors go out there and stop that? You know, we can do this as a group. And I don't understand, what is it going to take for us to protect police our own communities? Because the Black Panthers, they had weapons. That's why they got them, because they went out and they was patrolling their own neighborhoods. When police officers came up, the Black Panthers was there. They had their weapons, and they made sure. They was like, you ain't finna do this in our name, in our communities. We're not doing that now. We are so afraid to breathe. We are literally letting them knock us out and whoop our tails and do whatever it is you want, and we do absolutely nothing. I don't understand that. I don't know if it's fear, or I don't fear of going to jail, or fear of I don't know. But if we don't do something, bullies, what do bullies do? You have to stop a bully. People will bully you, and if you don't stop that person from bullying you, guess what? They won't stop. They won't stop unless you make them stop. If you make them stop, they'll stop. But as long as look crazy, as long as you still, not having nothing to say, I'm trying to quiet my thing down, you guys. But we have to stop them bullies. You can't just keep on allowing them to do when we not do nothing. They're not gonna stop. It's gonna get worse. Just like the one man who kicked the little 2-year-old. If they had, oh my Lord, honey. Whoo, Jesus, I'm telling you. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to get off. Because this thing is crazy. It just acted up today. Look at it. I am done with this. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm getting ready to get off of here. But I didn't want to make the video too long. I do appreciate the ones that came in that think I have something enough to say, important enough to say. Like and share. And you guys catch up with Maurice. He usually comes on about, I think, 7 or 8 at night, and he does a live. So Maurice Muhammad, that's my boy, that's my brother. And I just keep in mind, you guys, that we don't have any friends. We don't have anybody to support us. We don't have anybody speaking up for us. We don't have anybody that's on our side. But we have to be on each other's side. We have to be there supporting each other. We can't be so busy. But you know what? Let me just say one thing, and I'm gonna go. There was a young man, and I seen him on Facebook, and he was talking about, if you've been in slavery for 400 years, and white folk made him sleep with his mom, made him sleep with his best friend's wife, made him sleep with all of his friends that were male in front of his wife, in front of his children, in front of the community. Can you imagine the devastation? Can you imagine the DNA that's going down the line, down the pack, down the line? Can you imagine what's going on in that man's mind and in his family's mind, in his wife's mind, thinking that I can't trust him. If I trust him, then I'm gonna get beat. Or if I trust him, look to my husband, then master gonna beat me. We have to understand a lot of what we are doing now to each other. We learned from slavery. We learned it and we did it in slavery. The same thing we're doing now to each other, we saw master doing it to us. Remember? Come on, you guys. I know we weren't there, but we have to understand what the protocol is and why we're act the way we act. What's going on? Everything you see us doing to each other, you saw master doing to you first. And we just passed it down from generation to generation. The Willie Lynch syndrome. Okay? Look that up. The Stockholm syndrome. Look that up. So we'll understand what's going on. We have to, but it's so hard. How do you break chains of 400 years? How do you do that? How do you break something that you've been doing for 400 years and you've passed it down from generation to generation? How do you realize and recognize? How do you get everybody on one page? I know I can do it, you can do it, and the ones that's on here, the ones that, some. But what about the others? What about the ones that's joining in with the bootleg, that's going against their own for white folk, for white supremacists? And then they talk about white folk. And then what about them? What about the ones who don't even recognize or understand what's really going on? How do we get them to the point where we're seeing each other in a different light? Yes. So somebody said breaking the chains. How do we break those chains? How do we break 400 years worth of mental chains? How do we begin to think different if that's all you know? For instance, if I raised my child up in the closet and that was her bed, that's where she slept. I'm just saying, if I put my child in the closet and that's the only place she ever saw was that closet, she would think she's sleeping in a palace. But then I let her go to her friends and she see her friends with a bed, then she's gonna be like, hold on, what's that? Where you get that from? Then she'll understand that it's something wrong. Okay? Then she'll understand that there's something more. That I don't have to sleep in this closet. I can have my own room. Because she was exposed to something new. But we're not being exposed to anything new. And then when we are, we turn against our own for them. And then we think they like us. You got black folk on the internet talking about the flag, the Confederate flag. They free it. Wrap themselves up in the Confederate flag. And then you got black folk talking about, ain't no racism. Ain't no racism. Every time I get started, I'm going to be done. I think they're tired of me talking. So I'm not going to, let this video go on too much longer. But like you said, I know being fed up is one way. But how do we get fed up enough to where we change, and fed up to enough to where we see a difference, and fed up to a point of where we're doing something different and not marching? I'm so sick of marching. I'm so sick of looking at black folk march. I can't stand it. Every time I see a march, I just turn it off. I can't stand it. I think holding our money is everything. We are worth $1.2 trillion. And I think holding our money is everything. I think us holding our money is the key. I think if we hold our money, we can cripple the United States. We can cripple this country. Because being worth $1.2 trillion, they look for our money. They look for our tax money. They look for our Christmas money, which we ain't got no business spending, during Christmas anyway, but that's another story. Withhold our money and our vote, you're right. But who's willing to do it? Who's willing? You got Roland Martin hollering, vote Democrat. Because he's part of the boule. You have to understand. Anytime somebody is speaking, okay, like they speak, and the Democrat Party has not done anything for black folk, but Roland Martin is still hollering, oh, y'all, vote Democrat. And then talking about the ADOS and coming against the ADOS. Why would you come against something that's going to bless you? Why would you come against something that could bless your family? Why would you come against something that can even off this wealth plane? Okay, y'all, I'm done. It's got on my nerves. But with that said, you guys, I want you to like and share. And we'll do this again. I know, huh? I know, that's okay. YouTube, but you know what? Every time we talk about black issues, people either say you're racist or you're too black. But I'm black first. I'm black first, baby. I tell anybody, when they start talking about them immigrants, I look at them like they're crazy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm black first, okay? And this is what most people want. But it's not being racist, because black folk can't be racist. We can be prejudiced, but we can't be racist. Because we don't have any control over anything. So we cannot be racist. But my thing is, I am black first. And I tell you what, get them reparations. We have to establish a relationship with Africa, I think, and do importing and exporting from them so that we can, make it happen. We don't need to even include them. I'm serious. I believe Maurice Muhammad when he talks about total separation. I believe that we shouldn't have never came together with these devils anyway. And I believe that we should have stayed separate but equal. And I believe that because we had over 200 communities before Martin Luther King came on the scene. And he came on the scene, then we lost everything. So that goes to show that when he said, "Oh, I had a dream," I don't know where you got your dream from. It wasn't Yah, because Yah would have never told us to come together with them devils, because he knew what was going to happen. He told us in his word, "Learn not the ways of the heathen." I don't know a lot about Dr. Umar, but I really believe we should investigate him and see if his school is worth, if he is really going to open a school, and if he is, I think we should support him. But with that said, you guys, before they cut me off again, I'm gonna be done because I think I'm getting on their nerves, which they're getting on mine right now. But that's okay because we're gonna still talk, be black first, and we're gonna still keep talking black first. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. And like